Okay, so in the last lecture we discussed about the we started with the Frank-Condon principle. Frank-Condon principle. Okay, what this principle says is that when in the potential energy diagram, that is potential energy versus internuclear distance, in this diagram the transitions always takes place in a vertical manner, which means during electronic transition the internuclear distance change, okay, is negligible actually, or zero. There is no change in internuclear distance, we can say, right? So that's why their transitions are vertical transitions, right? Now when electronic transition takes place from one electronic state to another electronic state, for example, okay, let us take, this is the ground electronic state, and this is say for example this is the excited electronic state. Okay, so this is ground electronic state and this is excited electronic state. Both has minimum, therefore it represents these two are stable electronic states. Okay, and I told you from the ground electronic state the transition always takes place from V double prime equal to 0 at room temperature, because at room temperature almost all molecules are present in the ground vibrational state of the ground electronic state, right? At higher temperature, maybe the higher vibration levels of ground electronic state, okay, may have some population, but usually at room temperature, okay, the population in the V double prime 0 level is almost 99%, okay, or maybe more than that. So the percentage of population in the higher vibration state are negligible, so you need not worry about that at room temperature. And the wave function, the vibrational state wave function of the ground electronic or the ground vibration state, right, is actually has this form. Okay, this is the wave function for the ground vibrational state. Whereas in the excited vibrational state, the wave functions of excited vibrational states plays important role in the electronic transition. Okay, here also the ground vibration state wave function has the form which appears like it something looks like a Gaussian curve. And similarly in the first excited state, second excited state, we have different functions. Now what is the meaning for the Frank-Condon factor, or the Frank-Condon or the vibrational overlap integral? What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning for vibrational overlap integral? Okay, which we represent as in the Dirac notation, okay, bra of psi v prime and ket of psi v double prime, right? This represents the vibrational overlap integral. This is actually equal to psi v prime of the ground excited vibrational state and psi v double prime of the ground vibrational state into d tau. Okay, this is the meaning for the overlap integral. Listen, what does this actually indicate? Suppose I will take one particular the ground vibrational state in the ground electronic state and one particular vibrational state in the excited electronic level. Okay, let me show that here. I will draw separately and I will give this information, then we will discuss the others, right? Yeah, I will take one particular vibrational state from the excited electronic level. Okay, so let us take the ground vibration level here, V double prime 0, and I will take an excited vibration level, okay, like this, right? Let us assume the equilibrium internuclear distance equilibrium internuclear distance of this excited level and the equilibrium internuclear distance of the ground electronic level. Okay, this is ground electronic state and this is excited electronic state. Okay, let us assume the internuclear distance are almost same, and I will take a particular state here, V prime state. It may be V prime 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is. Okay, suppose assume that this is V prime equal to 0 state, for example. Okay, just for understanding purpose I will take this. Now you know very well the wave function in the ground electronic state of the ground vibrational state. This is actually vibrational wave function. The vibrational wave function will appear like this. Okay, this is the nature of the wave function in the ground vibrational state of the ground electronic state. Similarly, the nature of the wave function in the ground vibrational state of excited electronic state, which also appear like this. Now, what is the meaning for this overlap integral? Suppose, assume that a transition takes place here to here, here to here, here to here. Okay, listen, at this, see, exactly at the internuclear distance, exactly at this R, let me represent this as R0 for example. At R0, this wave function and this wave function has some overlap. Okay, see, you have to find out what is the overlap of psi v prime at the internuclear distance R0 and psi v double prime at the internuclear distance R0. Multiply these two. Okay, you will get some value at R0. This is called overlap at R0. Similarly, we have to find out the overlap of the wave functions at all internuclear distances, right? At all internuclear distances, right? So actually this value, right, are not equal for all internuclear distance, right? From one internuclear distance to another internuclear distance, the product value will change. To find the total, we are taking the integration. So this overlap, okay, this overlap integral means that it is the total overlap for all the internuclear distance, okay, which exists in the ground vibrational state. That is from this to this. It covers all the, or it gives you the total overlap. Okay, this integral gives you total overlap. Total overlap means overlap of the ground wave function, ground vibrational wave function, and the excited vibrational wave function at all R values, at all internuclear distance, right, correspond to the ground vibration state. Okay, that is the meaning for this overlap integral, right? Then take the square of the overlap integral. The square of the overlap integral, psi v prime, psi v double prime, this is overlap integral. Take the square of it. The square of this integral is what we call as Franck-Condon factor, which we represent as S, where S is called Franck-Condon factor. Okay, so don't think that normally when you draw transition, we'll put only single line. It doesn't mean that we are taking the overlap of the wave function at one particular internuclear distance. No, this overlap integral means that, okay, we have to multiply the two wave functions, or we have to multiply the overlap of the ground state wave function and the excited state wave function for all possible internuclear distance correspond to the ground vibrational state of the ground electronic state. Okay, the total value will give you the vibrational overlap integral, right? And square of which is what we called as Franck-Condon factor. And last class I told you the intensity of the vibrational lines in an electronic band, okay, that mainly depends on the Franck-Condon factor. Okay, so this is what I gave in the last class, that is intensity of absorption spectroscopy or absorption transition, right? intensity of absorption for the transition V double prime to V single prime, right, it is directly proportional to, right, this overlap integral S. This overlap integral, remember, it is the square of the this is called Frank-Condon factor. This is called Frank-Condon factor. This Frank-Condon factor consists of square of the overlap integral. Overlap integral means it is the complete overlap of each vibrational state. Okay, that's very, very important. And I like to give this information. This is also very, very important. Suppose if we calculate the overlap, the Frank-Condon factor from V double prime 0 to V prime of all the states. Okay, see what I am trying to say? V double prime 0 to V prime corresponds to all the state like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to the dissociation limit. Up to the dissociation limit. You know very well, after a particular vibration level, that the molecule will dissociate. Right? If it is possible to get the spectrum, right, vibrational lines for 0 to 0 transition, 0 to 1 transition, 0 to 2 transition, 0 to 3, 0 to 4, 0 up to 0 to the dissociation limit, if it is possible, then the overlap integral or the Frank-Condon factor for each of the transition, that is Frank-Condon factor for 0 to 0 transition, okay, where this 0 corresponds to lower vibration level V double prime, and this 0 corresponds to the upper vibration level or vibrational state of the excited electronic state. Okay, overlap Frank-Condon factor for 0, 0 transition plus Frank-Condon factor for 0 to 1 transition plus Frank-Condon factor for 0 to 2 transition plus etc. up to Frank-Condon factor for 0 to the dissociation limit. Okay, let me represent that as V prime max. V prime max. Above that the molecule will dissociate. If you sum up all these Frank-Condon factor, okay, the value is supposed to be equal to 1. Right? Or I can write simply summation, sum over, listen here, the ground vibration state is same, 0, 0, 0 everywhere. Only the V prime state changes, right? So we have to take sum over all V prime states from 0 to the maximum V max or V prime max. Okay, and you should take the Frank-Condon factor, right, values for SV double prime and SV single prime. Calculate the Frank-Condon factor for each of the transitions, then add all the values, this value equal to 1. Okay, very, very important. The Frank-Condon factor value for each transition of a particular electronic band, okay, if you add all the values, the values should be equal to 1, right? This is theoretically okay, but sometimes some of these peaks may not appear. Okay, in that case the total value may not be equal to 1. Okay, that is actually that actually happens in some molecules, right? But theoretically speaking, all these overlap, all these Frank-Condon factor values, okay, supposed to be equal to 1 if you add them, right? Yeah, so keep this in mind. This is very, very important. Now, in the last lecture, I just introduced the case A. Case A, what I said was, if the ground electronic state and the excited electronic state, suppose if they have same internuclear distance, equilibrium internuclear distance, say for example, here I will plot the effective potential energy which depends on the value of R versus R, where R is the internuclear distance, right? Suppose I will take a diatomic molecule for which the ground electronic state, assume that this is the ground electronic state and this is the equilibrium internuclear distance for the ground electronic state. Okay, this distance, right? Equilibrium internuclear distance for the ground electronic state. Now, assume that in a molecule, suppose if the excited electronic state also has the same equilibrium mechanical distance. This is equilibrium mechanical distance of the excited electronic state, and here suppose if Re prime is approximately equal to Re double prime, okay, then what will happen? The Frank-Condon factor, right, for as I told you before, this transition occurs from the ground vibrational state of the ground electronic state, because most molecules are present here, but the transition takes place from 0 to any of the vibrational state, okay, present in the excited vibrational states. Okay, like this we have many levels, and this is the, suppose assume that this is the dissociation limit. Okay, after that the molecule will dissociate. Just imagine like that. Okay, now listen, suppose if the equilibrium internuclear distance of the ground electronic state and the equilibrium internuclear distance of the excited electronic state, suppose if they are approximately equal or equal, if I say, and I told you in the last class, this happens usually when transition takes place from bonding molecular orbital to bonding molecular orbital, so that there is no big change in the bond order, or this may happens in transition takes place from anti-bonding molecular orbital to anti-bonding molecular orbital. Here also the bond order is almost equal. So in these, suppose if transition takes place in this manner, right, then in those systems the equilibrium internuclear distance for the excited electronic state and the equilibrium internuclear distance for the ground electronic state may be approximately equal. Okay, now what I am trying to say here is, suppose if equilibrium internuclear distance of the excited electronic state and the ground electronic states are approximately equal, in this case, listen, the transition from 0 to 0, this is V prime 0, V prime 1, V prime 2, V prime 3, like that we have many states. Okay, the transition from 0 to 0, right, we have 0 to 0, similarly we have 0 to 1, we have 0 to 2, right, all transitions will occur, but the Frank-Condon factor for 0 to 0 transition, will have the maximum value compared to the transition from 0 to 1 or transition from 0 to 2, okay, etc., etc. All other transitions have less Frank-Condon factor value when these two interrelations are approximately equal. Therefore, this will give an electronic spectrum. The electronic spectrum under high resolution will appear like this. Okay, I'll plot intensity in y-axis and wave number in x-axis. And you know very well, as wave number increases, the gap between vibration levels also increases. So 0 to 0 transition has the lowest energy. Okay, it requires very low energy for transition. Therefore, 0 to 0 transition will appear in low wave number. And as I told you, this transition 0 to 0 transition, right, 0 to 0 transition has the maximum Frank-Condon factor. Therefore, this transition will appear with the high intensity. Okay, this transition will appear with high intensity. Suppose assume that the transitions appears as lines. Okay, suppose if we take high resolution spectrum, or if I take electronic spectrum in the gaseous state, we usually get the vibrational lines. They are not actually lines, they also appear with a small peak. Okay, just for our understanding purpose, here I assumed that there is no rotational transition occurs, or rotation-less states, transition occurs between rotation-less states. What is meant by that? That is, J prime is the rotational level of the excited electronic state, and J double prime is the rotation level of the ground electronic state. If these two are equal and it is equal to 0, we call that transition as rotation-less transition. Rotation-less. because in both the j values are 0, therefore there is no rotational angular momentum, so we call that it is a rotationless states. Suppose if electronic transition takes place between rotationless states, in those cases only vibrational transition will appear, and those vibrational transition will appear with the lines. Okay, and this is corresponds to 0 transition. Okay, and usual representation is this is V prime and this is V double prime. Okay, then the next line will appear with a less intensity, then next line will appear with even lower intensity, even lower intensity, even lower intensity, like that it goes. So this is 1, 0 transition, this is 2, 0 transition, this is 3, 0 transition, like that it goes. So the spectrum appears in this manner. Okay, if you take oxygen molecule, right, in the case of oxygen molecule we get spectrum like this, right. It means that if you get a spectrum like this, that is 0 transition has highest intensity, other transitions have decreasing intensities like this, then you can say that in this transition the ground electronic state and exit electronic states have almost or are equal internuclear distance. Okay, so this is what we call as case A. In case A, equilibrium internuclear distance of the excited state and the ground electronic state are equal or approximately equal. In that case, okay, 0 transition will appear with the maximum intensity. Okay, yeah. Now let me go to the next case, that is case B. Let me draw the next page. Yeah. In case B, right here, case B, suppose if the equilibrium internuclear distance of the excited electronic state, if it is greater than the equilibrium internuclear distance of the ground electronic state. Yes, in some molecule the equilibrium internuclear distance of the excited state may have a little higher value. Okay, in those cases, right, how the spectrum will appear like that. Let me draw here. First let me show you the potential energy diagram, where we plot effective potential energy in y-axis, effective potential energy which depends on the internuclear distance versus internuclear distance, right. And to make the diagram neat, let me put a line, then I'll draw so that it will appear nicely. Okay, yeah. Now see, this is my ground electronic state. Let me draw the ground electronic state like this. Yeah, so this is my ground electronic state, which has an equilibrium, internuclear equilibrium distance Re double prime. Okay, this is the value. Now the excited electronic state has higher internuclear distance. If excited electronic state has little higher internuclear distance, say for example it appears like this. Okay, this is the excited electronic state, and now the internuclear distance for the excited electronic state, okay, is different. See here, this value, this length is little larger, Re prime is little larger compared to Re double prime. Okay, if the ground electronic state and the excited electronic state have different internuclear distance, and if the equilibrium internuclear distance of the excited electronic state is greater compared to the ground electronic state, in this case what will happen when transition takes place from V double prime 0? Okay, say suppose if transition takes place from V double prime 0 of the ground electronic state, so this is V double prime equal to 0 of the ground electronic state, to V prime 0, V prime states of the excited electronic states. Okay, so this is V prime 0, this is 1, 2, 3, etc. Suppose if transition takes place from here to here, here to here. Now listen, I told you in the last lectures, or in the last few lectures, that in one of the lecture I told you that these points, these end points are actually called classical turning points, right. and the quantum mechanics also predict that the probability is maximum at the terminal points here and here. Therefore, the transition 0 to 2 in this case, 0 to 2 will appear with the maximum intensity because the Frank-Condon factor for that value is very high. Okay, so here listen, equilibrium internuclear distance for the excited electronic state is greater than equilibrium internuclear distance for the ground electronic state. This happens usually when transition takes place from bonding molecular orbital to anti-bonding molecular orbital. In bonding molecular orbital, bond order is high. Bond order high means internuclear distance will be small. In anti-bonding molecular orbital, bond order is less. Bond order less means equilibrium internuclear distance will increase. Okay, and here the Frank-Condon factor value, right, S00 is not maximum. Actually, some other transition will have maximum value of Frank-Condon factor. So, as per this diagram, 0 to 2 transition will have the maximum. Okay, so here if you see the S0 to 2 transition, right, 0 to 2, S0 to 2 transition, this overlap, this Frank-Condon factor, this Frank-Condon factor has highest value. Okay, right. So, what will happen? 0 to 0 transition has less intensity, 0 to 1 transition has little higher intensity, 0 to 2 transition will have very, very high intensity, maximum. Then 0 to 3, 0 to 4, 0 to 5, for all those transition again the intensity will decrease. So, how the spectrum will look like? Let me draw here. In this case, the spectrum, if you plot intensity versus wave number increases from left to right. What will happen? The 0 to 0 transition will appear with less intensity, okay, compared to 0 to 1, then 0 to 2, then 0 to 3, 0 to 3, 0 to 4, 0 to 5, 0 to 6, like that. Okay, this is 0 to 0 transition will appear with the maximum intensity, will appear with the low intensity, then 0 to 1, then 0 to 2. 0 to 2 transition, okay, I am very sorry, the usual notation is this, 1 here, 0 here. Okay, similarly here, put 2 here, 0 here. This is the usual notation. We write V prime, V double prime, we will write like this. So, first value corresponds to upper state, second value corresponds to lower state. So, here lower state is always 0, upper state values are different. When upper state is 0, intensity is less. When upper state is 1, intensity is slightly high. When upper state is 2, you will get maximum intensity as per this diagram. Then, if you go to 0 to 3, right, 0 to 4, or if the upper state, right, as the upper state increases, the intensity goes to maximum and then decreases like this. This has happened, or if this occurs, right, it indicates that the ground electronic state equilibrium internuclear distance and the excited electronic state equilibrium internuclear distance are not equal. Okay, it may be greater. In this case, I showed that this excited electronic state equilibrium distance is greater than the ground. In some other case, it may also happen that when transition takes place from anti-bonding to bonding. Okay, let me show that. Before that, I will give this example. This happens in the case of carbon monoxide molecule. In the case of carbon monoxide molecule, right, the excited electronic state has higher internuclear distance, higher equilibrium internuclear distance compared to ground electronic state. Okay, this is case B. In case B, I'll show you. I will take the other cases, case C, right? In case C, let me show you in the next page. Let me take case C. Here, if I plot, okay, here suppose, assume that equilibrium internuclear distance for the excited state, if it is less compared to equilibrium internuclear distance of the ground state. See, what is the difference between B and C? In the case of B, excited state equilibrium internuclear distance is greater than ground state. Whereas in the case of C, equilibrium internuclear distance for the excited state is less compared to equilibrium internuclear distance of the ground electronic state. Right? How this picture will look like. Let me draw this. Okay, just make you to understand one important point. Okay. Yes. Let me draw a line. This line is for my convenience. I am drawing that. Okay. So now we have a ground electronic state here, and we have an excited electronic state here. Okay. The ground electronic state has Re double prime, which is greater, whereas the excited electronic state has Re prime. That value is small. This is small, this is large. Okay, in this case, listen, here also always from ground electronic state, always transition takes place from V double prime 0 at room temperature or at low temperature. Okay, whereas in the excited electronic state, right, transition occurs to any one of the vibration state. Right? Actually, the probability for all transitions, okay, have some value, right? Suppose, assume that here also the transition from this is 0, this is V prime, say this is V prime 0, this is 1, this is 2. See again, 0 to 2 transition, 0 to 2 transition. Okay, assume that this overlap is maximum, right, compared to 0 to 0, 0 to 1, and 0 to 3, 0 to 4, etc. So 0 to 2 transition is maximum. If 0 to 2 transition is maximum, in this case also the spectrum will appear like this. But before that, let me give this. Okay, when this happens, that is Re prime is less than Re double prime. When this happens when transition takes place from anti-bonding molecular orbital to a bonding molecular orbital. Okay, when transition takes place from anti-bonding to bonding, okay, in the final state is a bonding molecular orbital, therefore bond order is high. Bond order high means internuclear distance become less. That is why the excited state equilibrium internuclear distance is less compared to the ground electronic state. Okay, and in this case, here also, yes, the Frank-Condon factor for 0, 0, right? This is not a maximum value. This is not maximum. Okay, some other transition is maximum. As per this diagram, 0 to 2 transition has maximum value. Okay, so here, as per this diagram, right, 0 to 2 transition has maximum value of Frank-Condon factor. Therefore, if you draw or if you see the spectrum will appear like this for this type of transitions, right? So intensity versus wave number, if you plot, the first line will appear with this is 0, 0 transition will appear with less intensity, then second line will appear with a somewhat higher intensity, then third line will appear with the maximum intensity, then again the intensities of other lines starts to decrease, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, etc. Now listen, if you observe carefully from this spectrum to the previous spectrum, so this is the previous spectrum, listen, intensity increases, reaches a maximum, then decreases. Here also intensity increases, reaches a maximum, and then decreases. So these two cases, that is case B and case C, indicates that in these cases the equilibrium internuclear distance of the ground electronic state and excited electronic states are not equal. That's the information I can say. It may be the excited state equilibrium internuclear distance may be greater than this or may be lesser than the ground electronic state. In both cases, the spectrum will appear usually like this. Okay, this is case C. Now let me discuss one more case. Okay, after that, if time permits, I'll introduce some more information, right? What's that? Case D. Suppose if the equilibrium internuclear distance of the excited state Suppose if it is much greater than equilibrium distance of the equilibrium internuclear distance of the ground electronic state. In this case, what will happen? In this type of cases, see, I'll show you. We show you here potential energy versus equilibrium internuclear distance, and for my convenience, I'll draw a line. Then I'll show you. This is the ground electronic state of the molecule, ground electronic state, and suppose assume that this is the excited electronic state. Okay, now this is the equilibrium internuclear distance for the ground electronic state, and this is the equilibrium internuclear distance for the excited electronic state, which is widely differ from the ground electronic state. Okay, and assume that this is the this is what we call as, say for example, so this is the dissociation limit, say for example, dissociation limit. In this case, what will happen? The transition from V double prime 0, say this is V double prime 0, V double prime 0, right? Okay, the transition from V double prime 0 reach the dissociation limit. And other transitions also possible. I didn't say that the other transition doesn't occur. No, all transitions are possible, but the transition, right, will leads to the dissociation limit. When this transition occurs, the molecule dissociate. If molecule dissociate, right, listen, this is the minimum frequency or minimum energy required for the molecule to dissociate in the excited state. Above this, whatever energy you give, right, in all the say suppose if I give energy to this level or this level or this level, right, what will happen? These levels are not quantized, right? Above the maximum, all these levels are not quantized, but molecule dissociate, okay, and moves with some kinetic energy, right? Then in this case, how the spectrum will appear like, right? Yeah, see here, let me show the spectrum here. You will get dissociation actually. See, intensity versus wave number if I plot. Okay, listen here, we can say that 0 to 0 transition may not appear at all sometime. This V double prime 0, V single prime 0, okay, this transition intensity or the probability for this transition will be very, very, very low. So sometimes it may not appear at all in some molecules. Okay, so let me put a small line. It doesn't mean that that line corresponds to 0 to 0 transition, right? So what will happen? The intensity of the 0 to 0, 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 0 to 3 slowly increases. Once the dissociation limit reaches, after that whatever wave number of radiation you give, right, the molecule simply dissociate, and since those energies are not quantized, you will get a continuum. Okay, hereafter you will get a continuum. Okay, whenever you get a continuum in the spectrum, it means that, okay, exactly at this wave number, right, the molecule dissociate, and that wave number corresponds to dissociation energy of the molecule. Okay, so this wave number corresponds to dissociation energy of the molecule dissociate there. That is the minimum energy required for the dissociation of the molecule. Above that, whatever energy you give, molecule dissociate, but the problem is those levels are not quantized, so you cannot exactly say what is the value of wave number here. Okay, that's very, very important. So this is also happen in the case of iodine molecule, right? This type of spectrum will appear, right? In iodine molecule, you can see some quantized lines. Then once the dissociation limit reaches, after that you will get a continuum. So this is a continuum. The continuum, whenever continuum appears, it implies that the molecule dissociate there. Okay, so this is actually case D, right, where in case D where the molecule dissociate, right, the molecule dissociate at the frequency of at the dissociation frequency. The molecule dissociate at dissociation frequency. If you pass dissociation frequency, it will dissociate. Okay, yeah. So keep this one. This is very, very, very important. Okay, I call this frequency dissociation frequency, or you can also call it as nu prime continuum limit. Continuum limit. Okay, where the continuum starts. Okay, so this is this wave number corresponds to the minimum dissociation energy, or you can also call it as nu bar continuum limit. Continuum limit, where continuum starts, the wave number at which continuum starts. Okay, yeah. So this is very, very, very important. Keep this in mind. Then before finishing, I'll give you one more case. Then I stop. Okay, what is that? In some molecule, the excited state may not, case E. In some molecule, the excited state may be an unstable state. Okay, if excited state is unstable state, then how the spectrum will look like? Suppose assume that in a molecule, the potential energy versus internuclear distance plot. Yeah. So let me show you. This is the ground electronic state, and let us assume this is the excited electronic state. Okay, it is an unstable excited electronic state, also called a repulsive state. Repulsive state, where the molecule the molecule tries to break the bond, right? So in this case, when transition takes place from V double prime 0 to this state, okay, to this state, what will happen? The molecule will dissociate. The molecule simply dissociate, because these states are unstable states. The molecule will dissociate readily. Okay, right? So here in this case, if you see the spectrum will appear, right? Will appear with continuum. You'll get a continuum. You'll never get any quantized vibration lines here. You'll always get a continuum. And the first the continuum, where the wave number where the continuum starts, this is intensity, I'm sorry, the wave number where the continuum starts is called continuum limit. Okay, I'm sorry, this is not continuum limit, this is actually the minimum energy required for dissociation, also called dissociation wave number, right? Dissociation wave number. So this is actually case E, right? In case D and E, the molecule undergoes transition and get dissociated. Okay, so dissociation happens in case D as well as in case E. Okay, we have one more case which we call as a pre-dissociation case, right? Let me discuss that in the next class. What is meant by pre-dissociation, which is very, very important. Okay, we'll discuss about pre-dissociation in the next class, right? So these are all various cases, right? The diatomic molecule usually belong to any one of these cases, and based on that you will get different types of electronic spectrum for diatomic molecules. Okay, yeah. So in the next class I'll introduce what is pre-dissociation, right? How the spectrum will look like in the case of pre-dissociation. After that we'll discuss how to calculate the dissociation energy for the ground electronic state and excited electronic state. Okay, so those things we'll discuss in the next class. Once we finish this, once we complete this, we start the rotational fine structure that appears in an electronic band or electronic transition. Okay, yeah. I stop here. We'll continue this in the next class.